So as you see over here, okay, any numbers, okay, they can actually be expressed in this form. And this form is called the standard form. So what is A? Okay, there is a requirement for A. First, A is a real number. Alright, it can be a real number, but A must be greater than or equals to 1 and lesser than 10. Alright, and as you see over here, multiplied by 10 to the power of n. Okay, for this n, alright, it can either be 0, okay, it can be a negative integer, or it can be a positive integer. Alright, so based on what the type of n is it 0, negative integer, or positive integer, we'll have to move the decimal points accordingly. So let me explain in the next slide. Okay, so let's say if you have all of these numbers over here, so you have to express it in this form, in this standard form, a times 10 to the power of n. And a must be greater than or equals to 1 and lesser than 10. But as you can see over here, this is definitely greater than 10. Alright? So this means that we have to express it in this manner. Okay, 1.25, but now the decimal point initially was over here. Alright? But now I've moved the decimal point to this part. Okay, over here. So in order to get back, okay, to get back to the initial position of the decimal point, how many steps do I have to move to the right? So you just have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and this means that is times 10 to the power of 10. Alright? So if it's a positive index, this means the decimal point here would be moving towards the right, okay, to get to the actual value. Alright? Now let's say for the second one, 205. So since A must be between from 1 to, and lesser than 10, it will be 2.05. Okay? So times 10 to the power of what? Quickly. Yes, it's 10 squared. Okay, so the decimal point moves right 2 times and you get 205. Alright? Then the next one, 10.1. Is this acceptable? Can this be A? No, it cannot be, right? A must be lesser than 10. So 1.01 times 10 to the power of, yes, 1. Okay, so it's just times 10. Alright? And what about this one, 3.5? Now 3.5 is within the range of A. Okay? But since I want it to be in standard form, what should this n be? Yes, it must be 0. Okay, so n can be 0 as well. And therefore, we'll write it as 3.5 times 10 to the power of 0. Alright? And let's say for this very small number over here, okay, so I'll write 3.5 first times 10. Now, I start from here, okay, the decimal point, okay, is from here. Now I want to go back to the original position of the decimal point. So I move left, how many times? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 steps. Okay, but is it 10 to the power of 7? No, alright, it is 10 to the power of negative 7. Alright, so take note, when the index is a negative integer, means we move the decimal point to the left. Alright, if it's positive, like for this case, we move the decimal point to the right, okay, to get the actual number. Alright, so this is just standard form.